Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Black Girl Motivate Her. I am your host, Sheniqua Inspires. And listen, I got a firecracker for you guys today. I'm telling you, when I met this amazing and powerful woman of God, she was like a firecracker, boy. She came in the room ready to just touch the lives of everyone she met. So without further ado, I got to bring my new sister friend, Ayanna, up to the stage. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, beautiful. Listen.
Hey, back to you. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Yes, I get excited too, and I think everybody who is tuned into my YouTube channel, they got the gist of how I roll. I'm delighted and excited about everyone who I get the opportunity to sit down with, and it is just because I learned so much, and I'm inspired and motivated and encouraged so much by the people that God has allowed me to sit and chat with. So I get excited as well, and we're just gonna have to roll with it. Now, I do want to put this out there to everyone. There seems to be like a little bit of a lag, but we are not going to let technology take any shine that's going to be, shining out on this recording. So we're going to roll with it. We're going to make good with it. And I know that the message is still going to come forth, because one of the previous segments we did was a delay is not a denial. So we are not being denied this goodness from Miss Ayanna. So Ayanna, listen, let's go ahead and dive in. Tell the people who you are and what it is that you bring to this world, because you are a light in this world. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, awesome. Thank you again, Shaniqua, because you truly do inspire. I was just, sharing anybody that watches Shaniqua's social media. She is intentional about affirming to herself, to us, and saying things that we can repeat to ourselves. So I love it. And keeping that mindset, because mindset is so key when you are trying to combat any traumas, any fear, any doubt, any pain. The affirmations that shift the mindset upward is going to be the thing that's going to get us through. So I appreciate that so much. A little bit about me. I flow in some different facets. Okay, let's see. At first, I'll start off. I'll say I'm a comedian sometimes, because I think, laughter does cure like a good medicine. That's what the word says, right? And but I'm really serious, and I had to learn how to, because I would give the content and things that I'm passionate about so straightforward. I had to learn how to add some humor. Yes. And make it where you add a little sugar to the bitter sometimes. So I'll say I'm a comedian, but I'm serious, passionate about what I do. I am an educator by degree. I say I'm a called teacher, because I know that without a degree, God has called me to teach and share information with people, and whatever He's imparting to me, it is like given straight from Him, and I'm able to communicate it. So I am so grateful and so thankful for that, to be a great communicator and sharing information. I am a licensed minister too. Let's see, who else am I? I am an insurance broker. Yes, I'm an insurance broker. I got into the insurance space based on learning more about how to get my finances in order, needing to get retirement in order, understanding that our regular jobs may not give us all that we need to continue the lifestyle that we need when we are tired of working, or either give us the option to stop working. And so I needed to know how to pull all that together. So when someone gave the opportunity and exposed me, because exposure is key, I was then saying, well, I need to get some things in order, but I also can do this, because if I can share and help people grow in an area that I've been able to grow and learn in an area, then why not share the wealth? Literally, why not share it? Sometimes we literally do perish for the lack of knowledge. And then I'll add on this: we perish even further when we get the knowledge and we don't apply it. So that's what I want to be, that person that kind of could help people, those souls that are assigned to me to hear my voice and to help move along. So that's kind of who I am. I'm not a wife, maybe one day. I'm not a mother, but I'm a mother to many because
Yeah,
but
I
but
love it.
other than that, I'm a friend, and I am an aunt, and I love people, and I love God, and also I'm a worship leader as well. I'm a singer. I'm a professional singer. I'm a recording artist as well, and an
Ooh,
author. Good grief! I thank
awesome.
God for the opportunities. That's what I want to say. So I think that's
Yes.
pretty much kind of who I am. Okay.
Listen, my spirit is just jumping. I'm like, see, God, I knew this was my girl. I knew this was my girl before the start. Even though when we had met a few months back, we didn't really get a chance to sit in fellowship and really tap into one another. But just something in my spirit, I just knew that you were my girl. You hit on so many things, and you literally sound like me. Like the things that when people ask me, well, tell us about yourself, and I'm rattling on, and I'm like, wait a minute, God, there's another comma, and there's another comma, and there's another, like there's just so much, and you feel like you almost are overwhelming people. But my God, if God has given you the gifts, why not tell people who it is that you do? And like you said, people are perishing from the lack of knowledge, and it's because believers who God has equipped in these areas, we have this information, but we getting all shy and don't want to tell people that we know a little something about a little something, and we're causing the demise of the people. And so I believe wholeheartedly that it is time that we start to open our mouths and share with people. And I'm telling you, there's so much, and I don't want to make this episode all about me, but I too am a teacher. Liken to yourself. I am like I am a God ordained, so to speak, teacher. So I'm so connected with you right here in this moment. And I'm so grateful and I'm excited. Like I literally feel my spirit getting excited to have you on. Now, we are going to talk about. So, this is the Black Girl Motivate Her. So, I'm bringing you on purposely. We're going to talk about some motivation to these women, especially who have these multiple giftings. Right. So we're going to talk about that. That's going to be our overarching theme. But I do want to dive into so many of those nuggets that you've already released. And I would be so neglectful if I did not take this time for us to talk about it. I need you just to give us a small snippet to talk a little bit about the importance of life insurance.
Wow.
Got
It
to go
is
there.
thank you. Yeah, it is beyond important because we need life insurance like we need air to breathe.
Mhm.
Because there's so many facets of it. Oftentimes we know the basics. We'll just say, oh, that's just for when I die. But it's so much more fluid than that. When I start talking about learning and understanding about retirement, there are ways to build your retirement that's up to help supplement your retirement through the vehicle of life insurance. Of course, yes, it's there to leave a love letter to your families and loved ones. And even if you say, I don't have any loved ones, well, somebody is going to have to take care of your affairs, or maybe you have a church or a special organization that you would like to leave your monies to, or a heart or cancer or whatever. If you don't have anybody physically to leave your legacy to, you can set those things up. I learned that the importance of making sure that if you get sick, and I know we know people who have had heart attack, cancer, stroke, then if we qualify and get these things in order while we are healthy, then if we get into those things, God forbid, then we don't have to go into financial ruin. Because here is a way to think about it. Those of us between 18 and like 64 years old, that's a wide range in age.
Mhm.
And most of the time, if we get sick or have a traumatic car accident or something like that, we don't have anybody to really care for us. You have children's hospitals, and then some of the elders can tap into supplemental medical benefits and things of that nature. But we can't tap into
Wow.
anything because there's nothing for our age group.
Hmm.
And so if we have things in place like living benefits that's inside of our life insurance policies, living benefits gives us the option and the opportunity to accelerate part of our death benefits to pay for hospital bills that can take us into financial ruin. And I want to combat this. Some people say, well, I have health insurance. Well, everybody doesn't. And
Hmm.
health insurance still only gives you such a small window of time to be in the hospital, to be taken care of, to be rehabilitated, and then they put you out because your
Yes.
days are up. And once those days are up, who is going to take care of the bill? If you have life insurance in place with living benefits or long-term care, that will help bridge that gap for us and help us to not have to worry so badly on who's going to take care of me. I'll insert this story as I wrap this segment of this question up. There was a young man in his 40s, and he had a stroke. And
Hmm.
the health insurance, of course, covered him for like let's just say 14 days. And
Hmm.
once those 14 days was up, the social worker came in and assessed and said, "Well, who's going to take care of you?" He said, "Well, I really don't have anybody to take care of me." And I think the young man had some children, and
Hmm.
they were like under the age of 18. But the healthcare system said, well, they're going to have to be your caregivers because
Wow.
unless you have some money to stay in the facility longer than this set time, they're the ones that's going to be your caregivers. That's unfair. That's not right. That's not
Hmm.
good, but that's how it is. So the importance is get some things in order. And of course, it's like protect yourselves, especially I know your audience is probably ladies, high income earners. Protect your assets, which you are the best asset. Entrepreneurs, protect your asset. The biggest asset is you. Once you are working, making the money, what's going to happen if you got sick and can't make the
Hmm.
money? You still need something to bridge that gap so your whole business won't fold and your whole family won't fall and fail. So the
Amen.
importance of life insurance is much more deeper than just saying, I don't want to leave anybody any money. It's not
Hmm.
about that. It's like, who can take care of me and bridge that gap? And life insurance can help to do that. So I, would love to talk, talk, and let's just look at some plans to help people because we have to dig into the knowledge and grow. We want to elevate. Let's elevate all over.
Amen. I love it. I loved every single ounce of that. And when people think about life insurance, for some reason they erase the word life and they put death. So they always think of it as death insurance. They treat it as death
Yeah.
insurance. So it's always about when I die. But there is
Mhm.
it's literally called life insurance, people, and it's called that for a reason. If not, it would have been called death
Yeah.
insurance, right? If it was just for your demise, it would have been called something fancy,
Right.
sexy, demise, when you go insurance. No, it's about life. But people don't have the knowledge. And I promise you, I am going to have you back because we have to dive into that. But what I really, and I'm already stirred up, you guys. If you can't tell, I am stirred up already. But what I really wanted to talk with you about, Ayanna, is about women or even some men likened to ourselves, where we have all of these giftings. And we sometimes feel like we just on a roller coaster and we just going up and down and we're just all around. I want you to tap in and you can start with telling us about a moment in time where you didn't always feel so motivated and what you did to start motivating yourself.
Well, a point in time where I didn't feel also motivated, well, I think the most devastating time for me, and I even have a book about, I wrote about some of it, is when I got divorced, and I was utterly devastated, not motivated, didn't feel like anything because I didn't get married to get divorced,
Mhm.
and I oftentimes kind of trail back to this story because it was such a pivotal time in my life because the things that I'm doing now did not happen until, or I didn't have the mindset to think I could do them until after I got divorced and had to find who I am, or
Mm.
figure out who God had made me to be, and that I had pressed down so many things, or allowed life circumstances to press me into this little box. And I didn't realize it was the big person that you say that lit up the room. I didn't realize that person was there, because it was always a kind of, you get pushed to the back and you just kind of stay over there and be quiet. But I'm not a quiet person. I can be quiet when I'm alone, but I love to talk. I love people. I love to express myself. So coming into a point of motivation was coming out of that state of depression, with divorce, and just being blindsided with, wow, I didn't see that one coming, or
Mhm.
I didn't want to see it coming, because I took that as a sacred institution, and I was going to be married forever, however that looked. Now, we
Mm.
don't get road maps and books or nothing to
Right.
kind of navigate us through. If we kind of look at our elders, our forefathers and foremothers, we kind of look at what they've done, and a lot of times it may not have been the best, but we just did what we thought was right, because we didn't have the people saying to us, saying, and I'll insert this, like counseling and stuff like that wasn't a major thing in my community, to say, hey, when you get to rocky spots, you might want to talk this thing out. So after the devastation took place, I was just floored. Like, I don't believe I am here. What in the
Mhm.
world do I do? And the motivation, to help with the motivation, of course, I had to tap into my faith in God. That was number one. But I really was very grateful, very thankful, still am grateful and thankful, that I had family members that, when I finally had the courage to tell them what was going on, and that it was leading to divorce and what had taken place, then they were there to help. And so that
Mhm.
was where I was able to draw in. And then I sought out a personal counselor. So I did, I had my faith in God. My family helped me through, and I saw a personal counselor to get motivated, to pull some semblance of my mind back together, when
Mhm.
I thought that I was going to lose it and it was going to be it forever. And that was when then I started realizing, oh, you have some other interests, some other gifts. You have gifts that need to be reactivated. And that was
Mhm.
then where the music came up. I've always sang, I've sang, been a singer all my life, but that was when the Lord sat me down and I started singing songs into voice recorder, just straight from
Wow.
him, and was able to record those songs, because he sent somebody to me to call me that I had not talked to in years. I used to go to church with them, and said, had I thought about doing some recording in the studio? And I said, oh my
Nice.
goodness, that was God's therapy for me as well, to
Wow.
help me to come out of that depression. So that was a motivation to
Mm.
get me to say, you can get up again, and you can get in front of people, and your voice can not only be heard by speaking, but it can be heard through the melodies that I'm going to give you. So that was
Amen.
a way that I became motivated to say, wow, I can do this. This is for me, and I deserve it. I deserve to feel better. I deserve to maneuver in the things of God. I deserve to help others who can get a message from the things that I've been through. When I was going through it, nobody likes to go through pain and trauma, and
Right.
because you only think is you going through it.
Mhm.
And one thing that I remember my grandmother sharing to me, and when I was going through all this, she was still alive. She's been gone for about a decade now. But she told me, she said, I know you're hurting now, but one day you're going to look back on all of this and laugh.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't think laughter is what I'm
Right.
going to ever feel. But because but because I loved her, trusted her, and listened to the things that she shared, that she'd been through and hurt by and all that, and come through, I just took it in faith that she wasn't lying to me, and
Mhm.
that laughter means I would get a mindset, and God would give me the healing I needed to move through it. He would give me the pill that I could swallow, that would help me to realize you can make it. You can
Yes.
make it, and you can then do some things that you never thought you'd be able to do. You are worthy to explore and go into things that you never thought you'd be able to do. You are worthy to stand up and sing for people to hear, and get the glory. I'll get the glory for it. You're able to stand up and speak. You can write. Uh, all the things that I had doubt about growing up are the things that God has allowed me to blossom and bloom in now. And so I just
Mhm.
encourage, your listeners just to keep pushing and to keep going. And the very thing that I believe that you have in your minds that you don't think you can do, that's the very thing. Those are the very things
Mhm.
that are the explosion that will help to carry the word through the world. That's what you were designed to do. And that's who you designed to be. The things and the thoughts that tell you no, and the enemy saying you're not worth it. We're not worth it by ourselves, but if God has given us the creative ability, we are worth it through him.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I loved all of it. And unfortunately, but fortunately, right? So, unfortunately, but fortunately, we have to go through things in life. And it's those things in life that actually
Yeah.
reposition us, it recalibrates us, it puts us in a place where now God can use us. Possibly, and again, I didn't know your ex-husband. I'm not saying anything about him, but I can speak to myself because I got one of them too. I told you we was here, right? So I got one of them exes too. But what I can say about it, and my mom is always, she always tells me this in my ear. She's like, the things that you have achieved now at this point in your life, you would have never have achieved that while you were still married. And not that my ex-husband was a bad guy, and I don't scribe that to him anymore. Like he's a great person. He just wasn't great for me. However, God had to move us apart. Yes, we were together for a season and for a reason, had two beautiful children, through that marriage. However, it wasn't the place of my growth. So I had to understand that that wasn't the place of my growth. So when God moved me from there, I had to relearn who it is that I was and what it is that God needed me to do. And I believe that is where women liken to ourselves, where we find ourselves diving into a multitude of things because we are just in that season where we don't want to be stagnant anymore. We do not want to be bound by those situations or those areas in our lives. So now we're just in that season where we're like, cultivate me, Lord. Like whatever you want me to do, if it's 12 different things, let me just have the dexterity to be able to manage it. So I really want, and I love all of what you're saying, Ayanna, but let's talk specifically for a moment to those people who just feel like they've got multiple gifts, they've got multiple things that they're good at. What would you say to encourage them, to motivate them to stay the course?
I would say write it down, and so you can put yourself on what you say, a graphic organizer, and
Mhm.
so you can see the things that you really do. And then look at the things that you really, really love to do. And then which one can be the header and the other things fall through. Now, here's the thing: fall in alignment when I say fall through. So, if you know that, for example, you need money, which we need money to make our dreams flow and go, then you may want to go for that thing to say, okay, I need something that's going to make money so I can fulfill all the other dreams. Because
Mhm.
something may not pay as much as the other. That's one mindset you may want to take an approach on. Then you may say, well, money is not an issue for me. Then you go with that one that you would do, like you say, your passions are the things you would do without getting paid for. But at the same time, I still side note and say your professionalism and your gifting still needs to make room. When it says things will make room for you, it will make room for you, I believe, too, to pay your light bill, your gas bill, your phone bill.
Amen.
So if
Mhm.
you still need to attach something to it, you still need to attach something to it, even if you're not trying to, what you say, get rich off of it. Still, appreciation never hurt anybody. You still
Mhm.
need to be appreciated for what you do. But if money is not an issue, go with the thing that you really love to do first and put them in order. and see what it will take to really make it flourish and grow. And like I said, for me, with when I got into the insurance space, I know that that's something that I need to have it where it's the career switcher, period. I am an educator. I have taught kids, been an administrator in elementary schools and all that. But then it comes a point in time you say, hey, I'm still young enough that I have some life left. So it depends on your age group. Look, I'm 50. So I'll go and tell my age. I'm 50. So I'm about halfway to 100. And so
Amen.
it's going to look a little different for
Hmm.
your age group, but still it's never too late to start. You just have to be a little bit more aggressive
Hmm.
oftentimes with playing to catch up if you are a little older, because we want to say, hey, Lord, I need you to do this thing quick. So show me quick so I can
Amen.
do it, do it well, but show me so I can close up the time. If you're a little earlier in your life, 20s, 30s, 40s, then you got maybe a little time. But I say, ask God to show you as swiftly as possible what's going to be the most impactful, make you the most money, and then allow you to do what you want to do and not have to work at all. So that's how,
Amen.
that's kind of just hopefully that's a little mindset step to put yourself on a graphic organizer, because when you do a lot of things, you got to figure out which one you're going to make the dominant one at that time for that season. Like you said earlier, you have a season of things. Because we can't do everything at one time, because it will almost pull you into 15 different directions, and then you don't get anything done.
That's right.
So
But I love that where you said to make a list. So we all know that, God is whispering things in our ears at different moments in time, but we want to make a list because some of the things that God gives us to do, it may not be for this exact moment. So you don't have to feel like you got to do
right,
everything that you heard and everything that you've seen, that God is showing you. However, God gives us, the desires of our hearts. Like we can have communication with him to say, is this the one you want me to do now? Is this the one you want me to do next after that? Like,
right,
so this way you get put on a good timeline. And I promise you this, even with multiple different things going on, you will have time for each of those if you allow God to show you and you seek him. Like you don't just hear it, oh, I need to be a designer, or I need to be a dancer, a singer. You don't just hear that and run with it. You ask God more questions about the who, what, when, where, and why, so that you know when it's your season and when it's your time to start to cultivate and to really explore those gifts and talents, but never leave them undone. And I think that some people need to take them list that they had years ago, blow the dust off of them, and be ready, be in
yeah,
position to see. Because if you still have breath in your body, if you have still have life in years to you, then it may not be too late. So don't forget about those things that you heard God or you prayed about. Don't forget about those. Remind God, bring it to his remembrance, and then go forward and do what it is that he has called you to do it. And like Ayanna was saying, do it boldly, do it passionately, do it loud. Like whatever it is that you need to do, just get it done. So there's no such thing as, oh, I've got too
yeah,
much on my plate. No, honey, that is going to be your money maker. It's going to be your passion igniter. It's going to be everything that you need. But you just have to have the confidence and the mindset to say, this is my season to have it all. I love that. I got all of that. I got all of that
absolutely.
from what it is that you were sharing. Ayanna, listen, you are amazing. And I'm definitely going to have to invite you to come back because I really would love to tap into the financial planning and that side. So, everybody, stay tuned. We're going to be doing another segment and we're going to allow the teacher side of Ayanna to come out and really teach us some things because I just think it's just crucial in this season. But Ayanna, before I let you go, tell the people how they can connect with you, and if you've got anything special that you're working on that you'd love for them to be invited to.
Awesome. Well, you can connect with me on my via my website at www.askayanna.com. That's ASKAYANNA.com. And also, I'm on all social media outlets: LinkedIn, YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Ayanna Smith. Please go there. And usually every weekly on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I have a show called Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And if you know people who are in the financial space, whether it be a funeral director, a money coach, a life insurance person, anybody like that, I am looking for guests at all times to talk about that space, because I believe, iron sharpens iron. And when we're thinking about how to approach and handle things, lawyers, attorneys that do estate planning, things of that nature, people have a different spin on sharing. And like I said, I'm a teacher, want people to learn and grow and understand in that space. And also I have an upcoming down the pike, we're looking at doing a women in finance anthology. So we're looking at, having authors coming in, ladies that are in the financial space as well, to give their stories, tell how they got into the financial space, and give us some nuggets, and create like a storytelling handbook that can help us to grow as as women and men. But of course, it's from a woman's perspective, and I'll go from there. So yeah, just touch bases with me. I'll be glad to talk with you, complimentary consultations, and help you get on your way. And I'm available for speaking and doing workshops and events as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, did I not lie, you guys? This lady right here is a fire. She's a firecracker. She is full of love and life and energy, and of course, most of all, the laughter. And that is what we need, because we have to keep going in this season of our lives. So again, Ayanna, I thank you so much for joining us, for blessing us here on the Black Girl Motivate Her. Yes, I thank you. All right, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
You welcome. You welcome. So listen, I loved every ounce of that. I loved every ounce of that. And I hope that you all did too. This is indeed the Black Girl Motivate Her. And I hope that you are, after watching each and every one of these episodes, you are on fire and you are ready to make some necessary shifts in your life. And of course, you're going to start with your mind, but stay tuned for all of the amazing guests that I will be bringing on for this new series to bring forth that motivation to everyone. We're just doing it from a Black girl's perspective. So again, I am Sheniqua Inspires, and I hope you have a fantastic remains of your day. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.